Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your Tribal God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here for a Monday night video. And it's Monday night, you know what that means. We got Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw coming up at the top of the hour on Netflix. And it's the go-home show before this Saturday night's main event on Channel 4 from the Delta Center in Utah. In Salt Lake City, Utah. So, get ready for that. We got Cody! MDK Cody! You bitch! He's making a special appearance tonight to put us to sleep, as he always does. And we got a whole lot more tonight on your 2+ hour Cure for Insomnia Monday Night Raw on Netflix. But we got all that. But happy Monday night to everybody. I'm Peter Joseph, but you knew that already. I am a content creator to talk about the wonderful world of professional wrestling, and if you like it, great. You don't, go fuck yourself. Thank you for watching right here on the main channel, Killer of Demons 669. And as always, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down below in the gobbledygook, otherwise known as the scripture marks below. So subscribe to my channels. Leave a comment on the video if you like, but if these stupid comments bye to you, you get sent to the Shadow Realm. Satan and Ozzy will cut off your head and then eat your soul! They'll do that because they're evil. But but it is what it is. So don't do that. Do it on your dead channel that nobody cares about and you can't get off my dick about. But it is what it is. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on friend me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet, like I said before. Don't forget to tap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one, because if you miss the next one, you need to get slapped in the face because you're SOL. You know what that means. And if you don't know what it means, you might get slapped again. And that's all I gotta say about that. I mean, move on. And if you're brand new here, if you've never seen my channel before, and you like what you see, you want more, then hit that subscribe button down below. And subscribe to my other channels as well. My Peter Joseph channel getting very close to 950 subscribers, as we're about 2 months away. I don't know if we'll get there, but to that magical number 1,000, but we're hoping we get there. But we'll see what happens with that. And my other channels, my Rant channel, my Metal Guy channel, and my Shadow Slave channel. So, subscribe to all those channels, all the links down below in the gobbledygook. And that's that. And as we say in the business, when you do subscribe to my channels, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one. Put your smelly feet up and enjoy the show. If you like it, great, you know, go watch something else. Simple as that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to Raw, coming up at the top of the hour, let's talk quickly about this past Friday's Smackdown event, which wasn't a bad show. Alright, so it's time for your late and out-of-date Smackdown thoughts, you understand? Thoughts. As, that too. I know it came out late, but whatever. But anyway, alright, so your Smackdown thoughts for October the 24th, 2025, and we are at the Mullet Arena. No, we didn't see any mullets there, sadly. Short in the front, party in the back. I wish I had a mullet back in the day, but I never did. I tried to, but, you know, my parents like, no, you don't want that rockstar hair. I'm like, no. I want to grow my hair down to my ass and play the loudest, fastest rock and roll I could. Almost got there. Back in the day. But anyway, we're at the Mullet Arena in Tempe, Arizona. We're pretty much we're all weekend with NXT Halloween Havoc, which was a pretty decent event on Saturday. We'll talk about that. We did talk about that. Just check out my Peter Joseph channel. You'll see my NXT Halloween Havoc review. And we'll see what happens tomorrow night on a new episode of NXT. as we're approaching Gold Rush on November the 18th and 25th. And then right after that is Deadline, December the 6th from San Antonio, Texas. Yep! Gonna scare them Cowboys that day. And we got that. But before we get to all of that, we got Smackdown. We'll talk about Smackdown. We'll talk about Raw. Alright, so we start off Smackdown, as always, our commentary team of Metal, Cole, and Corey Slave. And that's that. Alright, so we started with a recap of what happened to Jacob Mean getting beat down by an unknown assailant. We all think it's Drew McIntyre. People saying it's Cody. People saying it's Randy. We won't know until Jacob comes back, but Jacob got destroyed. His teeth all out and everything. He's going for oral surgery, so he'll be out, I think, to the Survivor Series, so see what happens with that. Alright, then we start the show of Property with Jimmy Uso thanking Cody for standing up for Jacob last week. And then Cody asked if Jimmy and Jay are okay. You guys okay? You okay? Jimmy appreciates that. And he's like, well, I guess you didn't answer. He's like, well, I appreciate that. And I'm going to go talk to Nicholas Aldis about getting a match with Drew McIntyre, which he does at the end of the show. But before we get that, Cody comes out to address the crowd and bores for 20 fucking minutes. No! He mentions the upcoming title match against Drew at Saturday's main event, including mentioning hitting him with the belt last week. And then Papucho, Drew McIntyre, comes out from the crowd. Can't believe the fans are still cheering for Cody, you think? Or was Cody Crybaby still cheering for that fucker? Anyway, so Drew, this over lists of a variety of things. I can't talk today. I got things in my mouth. That's why. Not those type of things. I wish, but not tonight. Anyway, so Drew lists off a variety. Take 3. Drew lists off a variety of things Cody has done to him and promised to destroy the story. They're going to destroy the story, Jordan. He's going to destroy the story. Pretty much. Next Saturday. As for Jacob, yeah, I hate the family, but I didn't do it. I wasn't the one that attacked him. I might hate the bloodline, but I didn't do it. So then Drew suggests that Cody did it. So Cody says, "All right, enough, enough," and I'm like, enough shit. He's like, you want to fight? I want to fight. Let's do it right now. And then Jimmy Uso runs from somewhere else, attacks Drew on the outside, and then referees and agents have to come out, and security have to break all this up. So like, kind of calm down, and then Sodo Mibuki. And the MFTs all dressed in their face paint, looking like the Skeleton Crew from Karate Kid 1, coming out to help Johnny Lawrence beat up Daniel LaRusso. Alright, so we got all that. Let me move on. Alright, so I gave that first segment 3.25 out of 5. So we go to break and come back. We still see Drew and Jimmy brawl in the back. Not that the security did anything there either. But later on, we get Jimmy versus Drew in a no disqualification match. That's going to be brutal. Let me get that. Alright. Then we get to match number 1 on the evening. The MFTs, we got the resident gremlin, Tamataka. Yeah! Do not feed that guy after midnight. He turns into a gremlin. And JC Mateo, Jeff Cobb, they take on Animo! Ray Phoenix, bam! And his partner, Shinsuke Nakamura! Yeah! Alright, my boy Shinsuke Nakamura. Decent match, pretty good. I like the opening of the match where Phoenix sends both of them in the corner, then we get a good vibrations, a double one like they had the good vibration. Okay. Followed by a double. Come on! There goes to you people. You know who you are. As we go to break, we come right back. Tamatonga flips Phoenix inside out with a big time clothesline. And then we hear more. Yeah. And then Jason Mateo grabs a 1904 nerve hold. We don't see those every day. That gets broken up. Ray Phoenix kicks him in the head. And then Nakamura comes in, kicks away at Jason Mateo. Back to Phoenix for another kick to head. And then all four men are in the ring. Solo Mibuki offers a distraction. And then the big man, Hikuleo, chokeslams Ray Phoenix on the apron. Ow! Throws him back in, and then Tamatonga gives Ray Phoenix a running elbow called the cutthroat. It looks like the spirit gun, but, you know. Anyway, the NFTs get the win in just under 11 and a half minutes. Match was decent enough, so I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, and that's pretty much it. Later on, we would see the Wyatt family, and those two factions pretty much gonna go at it at War Games! At Survivor Series War Games, November the 29th, from Petco Park in San Diego, California. Now, I'm going to do a video probably tomorrow about why I feel War Games should not happen anymore at Survivor Series. Why? Because War Games is an event. It's an event. It is not a pay-per-view. It's just an event. We said that way back in WCW when they had Full Brawl War Games. That was just its own pay-per-view with a couple matches in between, and then the main event was, as always, was War Games, which is like what NXT War Games and Survivor Series War Games is, because they brought it back from the WCW days. But really, War Games is an event. It's not a pay-per-view, it's an event. Or a match, per se. It's an event. Like the Triple Cage Tower Doom matches they had at the tail end of WCW, which were horrible. Except for the Ready to Rumble Triple Cage Tower Doom match, which Jeff Jarrett beat DDP, thanks to David Arquette turning on DDP. And that was, yes, the same one where Mikey Boy threw Chris Kanyon off the second cage. Well, basically almost to his death. Remember that, Mikey? Yeah, I remember that. That's the best time of my life to do that. Bastard Canyon who thought he was better than me? I threw him off the freaking top of the cage. If there was a table there, he would have been broken in half. It was awesome. Yeah. Okay, Mike, we know. But there was no table there. I mean, he broke the freaking ramp. He didn't go through the ramp, but he, pretty much almost died on the ramp. Because you're awesome. Well, if that ramp wasn't there, Mr. Joseph, he would have died anyway. Now he's trying to fight me again. And I had to put him in his place again. Oh, God. Canyon, can you just stop saying that you're better than anyone? What do you mean? I'm better than everybody. Who's better than Canyon? Shut up! You're not better than anybody. I'm awesome. You suck. Okay, guys. No more. I'm going to call Jerome, and he's got to get the scythe and slit your throat. Okay, stop it. You'll be more dead than you're already dead. Okay, stop. How much violence up there. We gotta keep it down. Mr. Joseph, I'm sorry. I just got really mad at him. It's okay, Mike. It's okay. Go to the bar. It's on me, okay? Go tell him it's on me. Oh, okay. I gotta go. Bye! Okay. That guy's, he's amazing. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Canyon, you'll never be in the Hall of Fame because you're not better than anybody. Everybody's better than you. Even DDP. Nobody! Shut up. See? Epic impressions that you can't do. Moving on! Moving on! Moving along! Alright, so the MFTs win. Big fucking whoop. Alright, then we go to Jimmy Uso talking to Nicholas Aldis in the back, who, like I said before in the main event, puts him in a no disqualification match with Babucho Drew McIntyre. And it doesn't end well for Jimmy. We move on. Alright, then we're in the back with the beautiful Women's United States Champion, Julia. Who's just killing there. And then Chelsea Green! And her Sergeant at Arms, Kaylee Ray, or Hour Fire. I don't know if they didn't change her name, but they should. Because Piper Nevin's never coming back because of her neck injury. Who knows if she is or isn't coming in. So I guess the secret hurt this is pretty much history. But they're still there. Anyway, they come up to Julia, they interrupt her, and they suggest a merger with them, her, and the lovely Kiana James. Speaking of her, she comes in looking, scrumptious. She comes in and says, no, not quite yet. I got a match with Tiffy Tiff, non-title match coming up. And Julia's like, not impressive, Skywalker. Not impressive, Skywalker. Very not impressed. Julia was impressed with my dick. I digress on that. Alright, so I get that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we go to Kiana James taking on, it's Tiffy time! Daddy! What? Did you see me on Smackdown the other night? Yes, you did great, you look great. You kicked that girl's ass. I'm proud of you, sunshine. Ah, Daddy. But I'm mad. Why? That bitch that looks like Storm beat me up. Pissed me off. Ah. Well, don't worry, sunshine. Saturday night, you'll beat her again, and you'll keep the title, because you're great. You're better than her. You gotta show her who's boss. Because you're my baby girl. Ah, Daddy. Daddy approved. Alright. This was a pretty good match. Julia at ringside. She also quick distraction, which allows Kiana to get in a cheap shot. This will go to break. Come back. Kiana hits a running shoulder in the corner for a near fall. Tiffy manages a knockdown for a double down. And a clothesline. He gets up with a clothesline for the comeback. Goes for the prettiest moonsault ever, but it's a little bit too early. And Kiana grabs a Falcon Arrow. She did the deed in more ways than one. And gets a near fall out of that. Then she goes up top and gets knocked down, setting up a Swanton Bomb by the SmackDown Women's Champion. And then Tiffy goes up top, hits the prettiest moonsault ever! 1, 2, 3, Tiffy Tiff gets the win in under 10 minutes. Decent match, 2.5 out of 5 stars. After the match, Julia runs in for a 2-on-1 beatdown, but then we see Jade Cargill made the save. She picks up Tiffy, they celebrate momentarily, and I'm like, she's gonna turn. She's gonna turn. Just turn! Do it! Do it! Do it! And she did it. Jade Cargill laid out Tiffy, and now she gets a women's title match at Saturday Night's main event. Probably will be Tiffy. Am I mad? Not really, but I'm happy that she finally turned heel. And then making her look like Jade when she was heel in AEW. Monster heel. How long did it took you? About a year or so to do that, huh, Hunter? You idiot. That too. Moving on. Alright, so we got Jade and Tiffy Tiff for the SmackDown World title. SmackDown Women's title, I should say. This Saturday night on the program. Alright, we're in the back. Sami Zayn, or Sami Lame, congratulates the new men's United States champion, Ilya Dragunov. With the title win last week, Dragunov says, "I respect you, Sammy, but now it's time for me to keep the U.S. Open Challenge alive because Sammy knows you're the man to do it." No, Sammy, you know I'm the man to do it. Forget that. And we move on. Alright, we see Jade title not being rewarded, so I'm going with Power. And she's going to start that with winning the women's title, which she probably will. We'll see what happens on Saturday. And we move on. Alright, then we get to the men's U.S. title open challenge. Ilya Dragunov versus Question Mark Man. But before we get to that, Ilya talks about how he didn't know if he was going to come back from his leg and shoulder injuries. Didn't know, but he does know that he does not quit, and he's back. So bring out my challenger. So who should come out but Aleister Black? Ooh, with Zelina Vega, his hot wife. I love their entrance. They're just really taking what Scarlett and Killer Cross did on Raw and making it 10 times better. Oh boy, Killer Cross and Scarlett are like, we should have resigned. At this point, we're like, we should have resigned. Fuck. Now we get that. Alright, so this was a pretty hard-hitting match. Back and forth they went. Kicks and flippy-dippity-doos and who knows what else. But eventually, getting to the end, Ilya goes for a Torpedo Moscow, gets kneed out of mid-air, and a Brain Buster gives Mr. Black near fall. They get up. Torpedo Moscow this time connects, but Dragunov can't make the cover. Zelina Vega got involved, trips up Ilya Dragunov, and the referee saw it, and he's like, "Hey, you are out!" Kicks out Zelina, and then Poppy Priest comes from behind. Poppy Priest comes from behind with a bad eye, and uses the distraction to hit another Torpedo Moscow. 1, 2, 3. He gets the win to retain the United States title, and that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Good match. We move on. After the match, Poppy shows his eye all messed up. He was selling the move too. Goes for a concerto on the announce table, but Zelina Vega thankfully saved her man again. And they somehow went to the back, even after Aleister went after the bad eye to blind Poppy. And then thank you. And then that's pretty much it. So we move on with that. Alright, but good match between Aleister Black and Ilya. I give it 3.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, after that, we get a recap of what happened last week, where Carmelo Hayes, him, and The Miz, their relationship blew up, and all that other shit. We see Carmelo. He's glad Miz helped him get to Smackdown, I guess, so we'll get him to that level. Miz went too far when things got physical. Now it's time for him to work on being him. And then Kit Wilson of the Yes Boys, he comes in, calls Hayes toxic masculinity, or something like that. And we get a match next week between them. Joy. So we get all that. And we move on with that. Alright, so I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright. We then see Ilya Dragunov running into A-Kid and Ben Frazier of Fraxium, who would love shots at his title. Dragunov says, "Well, that's the point of the U.S. Open Challenge, and I'll see you guys later." So he goes to leave. And then DIY, once again, come in. Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano, the Psycho Killer! Tommaso Ciampa and the lovely Candice LeRae, they come in, they start mocking, fracks him again. A-Kid says, "Hey, Johnny, you're scared to face me." And Johnny's like, "No, I'm not." And then Tama Tonga goes, "Get that guy a milk bone." Nice, doggy. Maybe I have a milk bone. Anyway, so he pops up and makes those noises at Fraxium. For some odd reason. Because then you feed him in catering, I guess. I don't know. We move on. Alright, so 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Then we go to the Women's Tag Team Champions, Charlotte Flair and Miss Bliss, Alexa Bliss. They accept Bayley. Give me a hug. They're challenged for a Women's Tag Team match that's going to happen tonight on Monday Night Raw. And then, Nia, woo! Jax comes in, suggests they'll turn on each other. And then next week on the program, this coming Friday, I should say, Nia and Alexa Bliss will fight. And I don't care. And that's all I got to say about that. Alright, so 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Then we go to the main event, no disqualification between Babucho, Drew McIntyre, and Jimmy Uso. They beat the crap out of each other. They used some chairs. They fought in the crowd. McIntyre snaps off a overhead belly-to-belly suplex on the floor. Ow. Drew then cracks Jimmy in the back with a chair. Goes for a Claymore in the chair, gets cut off. And then, Jimmy with a whisper in the wind. Nice Jeff Hardy reference. For a near fall. He, throws the chair at Drew. Actually, he hits Drew over and over and over and over again with the chair. Drew fights up, charges into a Samoan drop through the Slim Jim table. Stop the door, Slim Jim! Ooh, yeah! Look at that. Instead of covering him, Jimmy goes up for the Superfly splash, and then Drew just, takes the chair, throws it at him. Then he hits the Claymore, and he goes for the pin, and he's like, "Oh, thank God it's over. 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre gets the win over Jimmy Uso in under 12.5 minutes. Pretty brutal, 3 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, Drew grabbed the chair and kind of wrapped it around Jimmy's neck, kind of choking him out with it. And then Cody comes out, makes the save, but as Cody turned his back to see if Jimmy was okay, Drew got back up and hits the Claymore on Cody to end the show. So we got that. We got all that and a bag of chips. Alright, so we have that. We'll see what Cody has to say tonight. Not that I give 2 fucks. And probably hear from him on Friday Night Smackdown as well. Maybe Drew as well. We'll see. But tonight should be a pretty decent show. Not much preview. But we got the Women's Tag Team title match. We got Cody in the house. I think we got Punk in the house too. Not much to go on for 2 hours, plus 2 hours plus, but we'll see what happens with that. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Final rating for Raw, 6.5 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of the show down below in the comment section, and like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's that. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, and I'll be back later with your Monday Night Raw review. So 2 for the price of 1 right here on the channel. And then we'll talk about Collision tomorrow. And anything else, that Survivor Series War Games match. We'll talk about War Games and Survivor Series, tomorrow as well. Late tomorrow afternoon, because I do have an appointment tomorrow. And I got some other things to do, so. But by tomorrow afternoon, getting into tomorrow evening before NXT goes on the air, we'll talk a little bit about Collision. And then we'll talk a little bit about Survivor Series War Games. And then get you ready for NXT. We'll do your NXT review probably later, or maybe late Wednesday. But we'll see what happens with that. But hit that bell, because when the videos go up, hopefully you get the notifications and stuff like that. And if you're not getting the notifications, unsubscribe, resubscribe again, hit the bell again. Hopefully, Neo and his team of monkeys will help you out with that. If not, just go to my channels. And that's pretty much it. Alright, until next time, my friends. If you're not down with all that, well, I got 3 words for you. Fuck you, man! And that's it. See you guys later for your Monday Night Raw review right here on the channel. But until next time, peace, motherfuckers.